All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I'm Abhishek Mukhopadhyay and with me is Saira Mujtaba. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches several key development projects worth 6,100 crore rupees in Kerala. Prime Minister hands over indigenously designed and manufactured Arjun main battle tank to the army. All education institutions of higher learning in Uttar Pradesh to start normal operations from today. India's vaccine diplomacy garners praise from global media. And in cricket, India to resume its second innings at the overnight score of 54-1 in Chennai Test against England. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these three simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the country's first full-fledged international cruise terminal Sagarika at Cochin Port and Marine Engineering Training Institute of Cochin Shipyard Limited yesterday. The Prime Minister asserted that the central government is undertaking all efforts to improve the tourism-related infrastructure in Kerala. The Prime Minister noted the rise in local tourism due to pandemic-related restrictions on the international travel. He said this is a great opportunity for added livelihood to those in the local tourism industry and deepening of connection between culture and youth. He called upon startups to think about innovative tourism-related products. The Prime Minister noted the tourism sector in India has been growing well in the last 5 years. The Prime Minister pointed out that in the World Tourism Index ranking, India moved from the 65th to the 34th position. The Prime Minister hailed the support of the country's citizens in fight against COVID-19 pandemic. Prime Minister unveiled several key development projects worth 6,100 crore rupees at INS Garuda Naval Air Station at Kochi in Kerala last evening. Speaking on the occasion, the Prime Minister said these projects will energize the growth trajectory of India.
Today, we have gathered here to celebrate development. Development of Kerala and development of India. The works being inaugurated today cover a wide range of sectors. They will energize the growth trajectory of India.
The Prime Minister said India has the ability to rise to the occasion and contribute to the global good. Amongst the projects inaugurated by the Prime Minister in Kerala yesterday include propylene derivative petrochemical project of Bharat Petroleum Corporation. Prime Minister said propylene derivative petrochemical complex of Kochi refinery will help strengthen the country's journey towards being Atmanirbhar as it will save foreign exchange.
This is one of India's most modern refineries. Today, once again from Kochi, we dedicate to the nation the propylene derivatives petrochemicals complex of the Kochi refinery. This one project will help strengthen our journey toward being Atmanirbhar.
The Prime Minister also dedicated to the nation the Ro-Ro vessels at Wellington Islands in Kochi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said India has undertaken massive effort to become self-reliant in the defence sector. Handing over the indigenously designed and manufactured Arjun main battle tank Mark 1A to the army in Chennai yesterday, he said, a tank made in Tamil Nadu will be used on the northern borders to keep the nation safe. It showcases India's unity, Bharat's Ekta Darshan. The Prime Minister said that the focus on making India Atmanirbhar in the defence sector will keep moving at full speed. The tank has been indigenously designed and manufactured by the Combat Vehicles Research and Development Establishment of Defence Research and Development Organization.
I am proud to dedicate to the country one more warrior to protect our frontiers. I am proud to hand over the indigenously designed and manufactured main battle tank Arjun Mark 1A. It also uses indigenous ammunition. Tamil Nadu is already the leading automobile manufacturing hub of India. Now I see Tamil Nadu evolving as the tank manufacturing hub of India.
Prime Minister inaugurated and laid the foundation stone of several developmental projects worth over 8,000 crore rupees at Chennai in Tamil Nadu yesterday. Speaking on the occasion, the Prime Minister asserted these projects are symbols of innovation and indigenous development. Prime Minister said Thanjavur and Pudukkottai will be specially benefited after the foundation for the extension, renovation and modernization of 636-kilometer long Grand Anicut Canal system was laid yesterday. It will improve irrigation facilities for 2.27 lakh acres of land in the Delta districts. The Prime Minister lauded the farmers of Tamil Nadu for record food grain production and good use of water resources. He emphasized the need to remember the mantra of per drop, more crop.
I want to appreciate the farmers of Tamil Nadu for record food grain production and good use of water resources. For thousands of years, this Grand Anicut and its canal systems have been the lifeline of the rice bowl Tamil Nadu. The Grand Anicut is a living testimony to our glorious past. It is also an inspiration to our nation's Atmanirbhar Bharat goals.
Amongst the projects, the Prime Minister inaugurated the Chennai Metro Rail Phase 1 extension, completed at a cost of 3,770 crore rupees, and flagged off the passenger services from Washerman Pet to Vimko Nagar. This 9.05 kilometer long extension will link North Chennai with the airport and Central Railway Station.
We are inaugurating the 9-kilometer stretch of the Chennai Metro Rail Phase 1 project. This would go from Washerman Pet to Vimko Nagar. This project has been completed on schedule despite the global pandemic. The civil construction activities were done by Indian contractors. The rolling stock has been procured locally. This in line with the boost to Atmanirbhar Bharat.
Other projects inaugurated yesterday include 4th railway line between Chennai Beach and Attipattu, railway electrification of single line section in Vilupuram, Kaddalur, Mayiladuthurai, Thanjavur, Mayiladuthurai, Tiruvarur. The Prime Minister laid the foundation stone for the Discovery Campus of IIT Madras.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will lay the foundation stone of Maharaja Suhail Dev Memorial and development work of Chittora Lake in Bahraich, Uttar Pradesh at 11 a.m. tomorrow through video conferencing. The event marks the birth anniversary of Maharaja Suhail Dev. UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath will also be present on the occasion. The complete project will include installation of an equestrian statue of Maharaja Suhail Dev and development of various tourist amenities like a cafeteria, guest house and a children's park. Maharaja Suhail Dev's devotion and service to the country is a source of inspiration for all, and with the development of this memorial site, the country will be able to get better acquainted with the heroic saga of Maharaja Suhail Dev. It would also further enhance the tourist potential of this site. In Uttar Pradesh, all degree colleges, state, private universities and other educational institutions of higher learning will start normal operations from today. In a letter, UP Higher Education Department has asked all Vice-Chancellors and Directors of Higher Education of all private and state universities to resume normal operations from today. The state government had allowed all universities, degree colleges and other educational institutions of higher learning to reopen with restrictions on 23rd November last year. More from our correspondent.
According to guidelines issued by Higher Education Department, it will be mandatory for all teachers and students to wear face mask or face cover. Social distancing will be followed by students sitting at a distance of 6 feet. All the institutions have to ensure sanitization and thermal scanning in their campus. The students, teachers or employees having symptoms of cough, cold or fever will not be permitted, and a person having symptoms of COVID-19 will be asked for COVID testing immediately. Meanwhile, schools from class 6 to 8 have been reopened from 10th February and schools from 1st to 5th March will reopen from March 1st. MS Yadav, Yaya News, Lucknow.
In Chhattisgarh, schools will reopen for the students of classes 9th to 12th from today. Physical classes in colleges will also start from today in the state. All education institutions have been asked to follow COVID-19 SOPs all the time. Chhattisgarh Board of Secondary Education has also released the date sheet for the class 10th and 12th board examination. According to the date sheet, The Class 10 board exam will begin on 15th April and Class 12 board exam will begin on 3rd of May.
In Uttarakhand, rescuers have recovered 2 more bodies this morning from a tunnel of NTPC power project in Chamoli district. So far, 53 bodies have been recovered, while 151 people are still missing. More from a correspondent.
Rescue teams have started recovering bodies from inside the main tunnel as well as from the Rishiganga power project site at Rani village. Almost all bodies have been identified. Bodies are being handed over to the families who are here, and some bodies along with the recovered human parts were cremated with all rituals. Shanti Path is being organized daily at Nursing Temple in Joshimath for those who lost their lives in this natural calamity. Meanwhile, connectivity is also being restored at both places, Rani and Tapovan. An approach bridge has been prepared by Border Road Organization and one rope bridge is also functioning at Tapovan. With Ragvesh Pandey in Dehradun, this is Sushil Chandra Tiwari, Rani Village, Tapovan, Chamoli.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches several key development projects worth 6,100 crore rupees in Kerala. Prime Minister hands over indigenously designed and manufactured Arjun main battle tank to the army. All educational institutions of higher learning in Uttar Pradesh to start normal operations from today. India's vaccine diplomacy garners praise from global media. In cricket, India to resume its second innings at the overnight score of 54 for 1 in Chennai Test against England. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
All lanes in the fee plazas on national highways will be declared as fast-tag lane from midnight tonight. Road Transport and Highways Ministry said this has been done to further promote fee payment through digital mode, reduce waiting time and fuel consumption, and provide for a seamless passage through the fee plazas. As per NHP Rules 2008, any vehicle not fitted with FASTag or vehicle without valid functional FASTag entering into the FASTag lane of the fee plaza will pay a fee equivalent to 2 times of the fee applicable to that category. The ministry had mandated fitments of FASTag in M and N categories or motor vehicles with effect from 1st of January this year. Category M stands for a motor vehicle with at least 4 wheels used for carrying passengers, while Category N stands for a motor vehicle with at least 4 wheels used for carrying goods, which may also carry persons in addition to goods. Gujarat has been the leading state in providing jobs under the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana PMKVY. Union Minister of State for Skill Development and Entrepreneurship R.K. Singh gave this information in Rajya Sabha last Friday. More than 37,570 youths have been trained under Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana 2.0 in the state. More from a correspondent.
Nearly 14,450 beneficiaries have been placed under Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana in the state. Additional Chief Secretary of State Labour and Employment Department Vipul Mitra said in Gujarat, as many as 27 sectors have been covered under PMKVY 2.0. Women hold 63% share of the total enrollment in the state. Apparel industry is on the top with 20% share in the overall employment, as told by Mr. Mitra. He added that the state is also leading in the country under this scheme for having employed 30% of the India's total apprentices. Aparna Khun, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
The government has said that around 92 lakh paddy farmers have benefited from current Kharif marketing season procurement operations with minimum support price value of over 1,20,000 crore rupees. The Agriculture Ministry said the government continues to procure Kharif crops at its minimum support price from farmers as per its existing MSP schemes. The ministry said around 640 lakh tons of paddy have been procured from Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Telangana, Uttarakhand, Tamil Nadu, Chandigarh, Jammu and Kashmir, Kerala, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, Jharkhand, Assam, Karnataka, West Bengal and Tripura. This is an increase of 15.71% against last year's corresponding purchase of 552 lakh tons. Out of the total purchase, Punjab alone has contributed over 202 lakh tons, which is 31.7% of the total procurement. The government, through its nodal agencies, has also procured over 3,09,000 tons of mung, urad, groundnut, pods and soya bean, benefiting more than 1,67,000 farmers. In Bihar, over 30 lakh metric tons of paddy has been procured from farmers of the state in this season. In February last year, paddy procurement was only 4.64 metric tons. 4,871 crore rupees have been paid to over 4 lakh farmers for procurement of paddy this year. Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has instructed district authorities to speed up procurement. 21st February is the last date for procurement of paddy. The state government has set a target to buy 45 lakh metric tons of paddy from the farmers.
In Bihar, 4,92,321 healthcare and frontline workers have been vaccinated so far. No side effect of the vaccine has been reported from any part of the state. The state government will start administering second dose of COVID-19 vaccines to healthcare workers from today. 2,59,591 patients have recovered from the COVID-19 infection in the state so far. COVID-19 recovery rate has improved to 99.18% in Bihar. This is 1.77% more than the national average. The number of active cases is continuously declining. Currently, only 624 patients are receiving treatment at various hospitals. No positive case has been reported from 30 districts. Over 2 crore 19 lakh corona tests have been conducted in the state so far. After a month after India started sending indigenously developed COVID-19 vaccines to partner countries under grant assistance program named Vaccine Maitri, the global media has offered lavish praise to India. Eric Bellman of the Wall Street Journal said that India has emerged the surprise leader of the global vaccine diplomacy race. Appreciating India's outreach, he pointed out that it has exported 3 times more doses than it has given its own citizens and can spare even more without hurting its own rollout. Yaroslav Trofimov and Bellman have written a piece in the WSJ with a headline that reads, "In COVID-19 diplomacy, India emerges as a vaccine superpower." It highlighted that India is a pharmaceutical giant that had manufactured some 60% of global vaccines before the pandemic. India had started its Vaccine Maitri program on January 20th with first batches of COVID-19 vaccine consignment sent to Bhutan and the Maldives. The New York Times said in a report that India has an unmatched vaccine manufacturing power and the country is giving away millions of doses to neighbors friendly and estranged. The NYT reported that India is trying to counter China, which has made doling out shots a central plank of its foreign relations. The report added that the coronavirus vaccine, one of the world's most in-demand commodities, has become a new currency for international diplomacy. The report said that the Serum Institute of India, the world's largest vaccine factory, churns out the AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine at a daily rate of about 2.5 million doses. The report added the pace has allowed India to begin to dole out doses free of charge to neighbors. India has already sent plane loads of vaccines to Nepal, Bangladesh, Myanmar, the Maldives, Sri Lanka, the Seychelles, and Afghanistan, among other countries. Constantino Zavia, who studies India's relations with its neighbors at the Center for Social and Economic Progress, a New Delhi think tank, told NYT that the vaccine push bolsters India's credibility as a reliable crisis responder and solutions provider to these neighboring countries. Gulf News, in an opinion piece, stated that being the world's largest vaccine manufacturer and leader in cost-effective generic medicine, India has already distributed indigenously produced vaccines to many countries.
In our series on the Union Budget 2021-22, today we bring you an overview of the announcements relating to the conservation of our environment. The government has proposed to allocate more than 2,869 crore rupees to the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change for the next fiscal. To tackle the burgeoning problem of air pollution, the government has proposed to provide an amount of 2,217 crore rupees for 42 urban centres with a million-plus population. In the budget speech, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman had announced a voluntary vehicle scrapping policy to phase out old and unfit vehicles. This would reduce vehicular pollution.
We are separately announcing a voluntary vehicle scrapping policy to phase out old and unfit vehicles. This will help in encouraging fuel-efficient, environment-friendly vehicles, thereby reducing vehicular pollution and oil import bills. Vehicles would undergo fitness tests in automated fitness centers after 20 years in case of personal vehicles and after 15 years in case of commercial vehicles. Details of the scheme will be separately shared by the Ministry.
Our correspondent has filed this report.
The government has announced that a deep ocean mission will be launched. It will cover deep ocean survey exploration and deep sea biodiversity conservation projects. The proposed budget outlay of the mission is more than 4,000 crores over 5 years. The government has proposed to launch a hydrogen energy mission in 2021-22 for generating hydrogen from green power sources. To give a further boost to the non-conventional energy sector, the government has made a provision for an additional capital infusion of 1,000 crore rupees to Solar Energy Corporation of India and 1,500 crore rupees to Indian Renewable Energy Development Agency. The government has announced that Swachh Bharat Mission Urban 2.0 will be launched. The government intends to focus on complete fecal sludge management and wastewater treatment, source segregation of garbage, reduction in single-use plastic, reduction in air pollution by effectively managing waste from construction and demolition activities, and bioremediation of all legacy dump sites to ensure cleanliness of urban areas. Liquid waste management in 500 Amrut cities as a part of Jal Jeevan Mission Urban also features in the budget announcements. The mission also includes rejuvenation of water bodies and creation of green spaces and sponge cities to reduce floods. In the budget, emphasis has also been laid on increasing the share of public transport in urban areas. Pragya Devra, AIR News, Delhi.
Naxal-hit Gadchiroli district in Maharashtra has created history during the 2021 Gram Panchayat elections. The combined efforts of Gadchiroli district police and the administration have led to completely peaceful Gram Panchayat elections held during last month.
The Gram Panchayat elections this year were held in 12 talukas in 2 phases at 920 election booths in Gadchiroli. Voters registered more than 80% turnout in both phases.
What is to be appreciated about this turnout is that women have participated in large number than men during these elections.
Davli Budruk village being one of the example where Gram Panchayat elections were conducted after 54 years. A large exercise were undertaken by Gadchiroli police whereby logical preparations had to be taken up for 177 hypersensitive, 377 sensitive and 527 general booths. The people of Gadchiroli completely rejected the threat of violence along with the attempt to create terror by Naxal and displayed their faith in democratic forces. Jeevan Bhavsar, AIR News, Mumbai.
Delhi police has made the first arrest in connection with a controversial toolkit document that was tweeted by Swedish environmental activist Greta Thunberg. Police has arrested a 21-year-old activist Disha Ravi from Bangalore yesterday. She was arrested by the Cyber Prevention Awareness and Detection Team of Delhi Police. She was produced in a court which remanded her to 5 days of police custody. An FIR in the case was registered earlier this month on February 4th. The police had earlier written to Google asking it to provide the original document uploaded by Greta. Delhi police claim that Disha is not only an editor of the toolkit Google Doc, but is also a key conspirator behind the document's formulation and dissemination. It said that she started a WhatsApp group to collaborate with different people to draft the toolkit document. Revealing the motive behind the toolkit, police said that these people collaborated with Pro-Khalistani Poetic Justice Foundation to spread disaffection against India. Police also revealed that Disha was the person who shared the toolkit document with Greta Thunberg. Once Greta accidentally tweeted the document, making its incriminating details public, Disha asked Greta to delete the tweet and the main document. 16 Indian crew members of MV Anastasia have reached India after the shipping company arranged a crew change in Japan on 10th of February. They arrived in Mumbai yesterday. The ship was stuck at the Chinese port of Kofidian since September 2020. More from a Beijing correspondent.
MV Anastasia and Vijayanand were transporting coal from Australia to China as they were stuck in the Chinese ports. Both the ships were refused permission by Chinese authorities to offload their cargo and leave, citing COVID-19 related restrictions. However, on 24 December, the Ministry of External Affairs of India had said that other ships which arrived after these two were allowed to offload the cargo and leave, and the reasons for this were unclear. It created more confusion regarding the Chinese system. Indian embassy in Beijing had been constantly trying to break this deadlock, while Chinese Foreign Ministry put the onus on freight forwarder for not allowing the ships to leave the port, adding that they are in touch with Indian side. Anshman Mishra for All India Radio News, Beijing.
In cricket, India will resume its second innings at the overnight score of 54 for 1 against England on day 3 of Chennai Test today. Opener Rohit Sharma, 25, and Cheteshwar Pujara, 7, were at the crease when stumps were drawn yesterday. At the stumps on day 2 yesterday, the hosts were in complete control with a lead of 249 runs. A lead of 249 is still considered a formidable target on a lively track in M.A. Chidambaram Stadium. Earlier, India bundled out England for 134 runs, taking a first innings lead of 195 runs. For India, ace spinner Ravichandran Ashwin took 5 wickets. In cricket, off-spinner Ravichandran Ashwin has become the first player in the 143-year history of Test cricket to take 200 wickets against left-handed batsmen. He achieved the feat during the second day of India's second Test against England at the M.A. Chidambaram Stadium, Chennai, his home ground. Fast bowler Stuart Broad was the 200th left-hander to be dismissed by Ashwin.
Now let us take a look at the weather update for today. National capital Delhi saw mild fog during the early hours. The minimum temperature was 10 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be 29 degrees Celsius. Mumbai is expected to have mainly clear sky with temperature varying between 21 and 31 degrees Celsius. Chennai will have partly cloudy sky. The temperature will fluctuate between 21 and 30 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have partly cloudy sky. Minimum temperature was 19 degrees Celsius while maximum may go up to 31 degrees. Jammu will mainly see a clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards evening. The minimum temperature in the city was 10 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 22 degrees. In Srinagar, the sky will be mainly clear. Minimum temperature in the city was 0 degrees Celsius while it is expected to rise to 16 degrees Celsius. Leh will see a mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature was minus 10 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 6 degrees. Gilgit will have a mainly clear sky. The temperature will hover between minus 1 and 20 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will also have clear sky. The temperature will vary from 7 to 24 degrees Celsius.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Prime Minister hands over Arjun Mark 1A tank to Army, leads the Hindu, adding, "It showcases India's united spirit, self-reliance," says Modi. Modi leads tributes to Pulwama soldiers, says Hindustan Times. Terror plot foiled on Pulwama anniversary, student among 4 held, informs the Tribune. PM launches a slew of projects in Tamil Nadu, reports the Asian Age. On the impeachment trial of Donald Trump, Hindustan Times writes, Trump acquitted, hints at return to public life. On COVID-19, Financial Express writes, India's daily case count down 40% in a month, testing down by a fourth. And finally, FASTag mandatory from midnight tonight. Well, the statement reports that from 15th February midnight, any vehicle not fitted with it will be charged double the toll at electronic toll plazas across the country.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches several key development projects worth 6,100 crore rupees in Kerala. Prime Minister hands over indigenously designed and manufactured Arjun main battle tank to the Army. All educational institutions of higher learning in Uttar Pradesh to start normal operations from today. India's vaccine diplomacy garners praise from the global media. And in cricket, India to resume its second innings at the overnight score of 54 for 1 in the Chennai Test against England. And for details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.